Today, we will be focusing on the rest of the learning outcome number four, that is the part of activity number two. In general, we discussed that workplace communication is the exchange of information, ideas, messages within the premises of the organization so that it can facilitate the effective collaboration among the employees, among the team members, and it helps in taking decision making and the achievement of common goals. And those common goals are associated with the organizational goals, lastly, strategic goals as well. Create a plan to improve workplace communication. We have to focus on assessment criteria 4.3 and the command verb create. So we are going to make it up with the new level that how we can improve the workplace communication. We are going to make the plan according to the organization criteria and what the scenario and context of assignment says. Improving the workplace communication is crucial for fostering a positive and productive work environment. Here's a comprehensive plan to enhance workplace communication. The first thing is the communication analysis. Here we will be identifying the current communication channels by documenting all the existing communication channels within the organization, including the emails, messaging, apps, meetings, and collaboration tools. Then we are going to assess the effectiveness by conducting the surveys, maybe interviews to gauge the employees' opinions on the current state of communication. We are going to take a feedback. Then analyze the recent projects or incidents to identify communication breakdowns or the bottlenecks. Identify the barriers. Identify any physical, cultural, or tech barriers that may hinder the effective communication. Now, obviously, when we are going to make a plan, we have to see each and everything in detail. In the second component, it says consensus building. Consensus building. In this, we have to establish a communication committee, form a cross functional team to represent different departments and levels within the organization, ensure diverse perspectives to better understand communication needs. So, we are going to talk and have a discussion among all the departmental members. That is what a cross functional team and a decision making is. Define communication goals. Collaboratively establish clear communication goals that align with overall business objectives and set measurable targets to track progress. That you can achieve that certain goals, perspectives within 3 to 4 months or even six. This should be achievable. Create a communication charter. Now, this is a document which is outlining the agreed upon communication norms, expectations, and guidelines. Just like a contract, when you get hired by any organization, we do get that. Ensure all team members understand and commit to these principles. Then we have employee surveys. In this, we have create a comprehensive survey only and analyze survey result. In survey, what we have to do is we have to design a survey to gather the feedback on the current communication practices, preferences, and the areas needing improvement, including the questions about the effectiveness of the existing channels, information clarity, and responsiveness. Like I remember last time when I made my survey, it was when I did my master's. We can easily, and even the bachelors, when we have to ask the feedback from the community, from the people associated with it, we're going to make a survey, and the questions are according to it, according to whatever your thesis is, or the project even. Analyze the survey result. Now you have to use the data to identify the trends and patterns and prioritize the areas where the improvements are most needed based on the employee feedback because we are working on the workplace communication at the moment. Then we have training programs. In this, we have identify the communication skill gaps, training initiatives, and ongoing development. Now use surveys, results, and performance reviews to identify the areas where employees may need additional communication skills because maybe they are not enough able to talk in the native language. So we have to train them, we can give them workshops, then implement training initiatives, provide targeted training sessions on effective communication, including the written and verbal communication, active listening, and collaboration skills. Then establish a continuous learning culture by offering periodic refreshers and advanced communications. Training programs. This could be a one reason or one way through which we can train them. Encourage employees to share their newly acquired skills with their teams. In this way, cross functional decision making is going to be strong. Feedback mechanism. Now, here, implement regular feedback session. Schedule regular one on one or team feedback session to discuss communication improvements, encourage open and honest dialogue about challenges and success. Utilize the tech for the feedback. Implement anonymous feedback mechanisms such as surveys or suggestion boxes to gather insights without fear of reprisal. Now, this is what your name is not going to be shown, but you are going to give an honest review. But to be very honest, and this is true as well, this is not true. There is a team which is actually watching each and every person who has sent the review, who has sent that survey as a feedback, and they know which person was that. So it is very risky to give an honest review because I remember back in my second semester, we were not happy with that teacher and we used to give them very poor result because she was not a good teacher. And in the end, she made us like literally our life hell for the 6 months. So they know each and everything. They discuss each and every story. And in the same way, this happens in the organization as well. Monitor and the adjust. Here we are going to discuss the indicators. The KPI is the indicator which is related to the communication effectiveness, and it regularly assesses the progress towards these KPIs. These KPIs were indicators which we assess the performance of the workers. Be flexible in adapting communication strategies based on ongoing feedback and changing organizational needs. Regularly revisit the communication plan to ensure its relevance. This is the best thing which we can do. We have whatever the plan we have made, even as a person, we should revisit again and again. We should revise it. We should read that again and again so that we should know that what our goals are. And by implementing these comprehensive plan, organization can create a culture of effective communication leading to increased productivity, employee satisfaction, and the overall success as well. Now we are going to discuss the communication plan according to an organization, which is an assumed one. Communication analysis. That is what the situation is. The company XYZ, a mid-sized tech firm, noticed a decline in project collaboration and employee morale. They conducted a thorough analysis. This is the action, the feedback or implementation, reviewing communication channels, surveying the employees, and identifying barriers like inconsistent use of project management tools. For the consensus, the analysis revealed a lack of consensus on the communication norms. The document which they have already made, people were not actually focusing on it. They were not really implementing those things. Company XYZ formed a communication committee with representatives from each department. They collectively set goals, defined a communication charter, and established regular committee meetings to address ongoing issues. For the employee surveys, the situation is the survey indicated that employees found email overload and unclear project updates as major pain points. The company XYZ used this data to prioritize the improvements. They focused on streamlining email communication, implementing a project management tool, and providing training on effective communication as well. For the training programs, the survey identified a need for improved written communication skills. So you have seen one more thing that this company particularly used the survey because this is the best mode through which the people can give their reviews, whether it is honest, biased, or neutral. At least they do fill the surveys. The company XYZ organized workshops in email etiquette, report writing, and collaborative document creation. They provide both in person sessions and online resources to accommodate the diverse learning preferences. This is what these they can do. For the feedback mechanism, what the problem was, the employees were hesitant to provide honest feedback due to fear of repercussions. Now, what they did, they implemented an anonymous suggestion box and regular feedback sessions where the employees express concerns openly. They emphasized that feedback was crucial for the improvement and celebrated the positive changes. Now, this could be least when there's a simple box, a kind of a suggestion box, which are mostly in the governmental sector or the sectors which are quite backdated, not up to date. and they can put any form of paper right there and give a suggestion. That is the only way through which they could be anonymous. For the results, improved collaboration, enhanced employee satisfaction, and measurable progress. The implementation of the project management tool resulted in better project tracking, reduced the delays, and enhanced the collaboration. The regular feedback sessions and the training programs lead to an increase in employee satisfaction scores, indicating that the communication improvements were positively impacting the workplace environment. The key performance indicators, such as the product completion times and feedback scores, showed the improvement over time. By taking a systematic approach and involving the employees in the process, Company XYZ successfully improved workplace communication, creating a more collaborative and satisfying work environment. So, we discussed the points first, and then we implement as a case study, as an example, that how we can face these problems in reality and how the plan could be in real as well. Now, moving towards the last assessment criteria, identify measures to evaluate the success of the plan to improve workplace communication. Now we are going to take the measures. The first command verb is identify, and the second is to evaluate. So we have to focus on both of them. Evaluate the success of the workplace communication improvement plan. You can use combination of quantitative and qualitative measures. Smart criteria. Now I made this specific slide I remembered from the suggested evidence with the help of indicative and suggested, because in the suggested evidence they have given the idea of SMART. So we have to include that as well. That is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Now these are the essential for setting clear and meaningful measures to evaluate the success of a workplace communication improvement plan. Here are the specific measures aligned with the identified goals. Improved performance, sales figure. Monitor the sales performance before and after the implementation of the communication plan. Compare sales figure for relevant periods to identify any correlation between the improved communication and increased sales. That is what we can see. The first thing to improve the performance is what are the sales, what are the revenue. Project completion rates. Track the completion rates of the projects or tasks to assess whether improved communication has positively impacted workflow efficiency. That is when we are going to work on the communication channel. We have to see whether the projects are like we're getting on time, everything or not. Are the projects being executed on time? Everything is clear or not to the people. Analyze the project timelines and deadlines to identify any improvements in meeting targets. Improve performance. Now, according to that SMART, it's this is the example. Specific is the increased sales figures by 10% within the next quarter. That is good, an idea, an estimated plan. Measurable, monitor and compare the sales data quarterly, that is after every 4 months. Set realistic targets based on historical performance and market condition. Whenever we have to compare in an organization with the past and the future data to conclude for the present, we have to take 2 years consecutively. Then achieve the 10% increase within the next quarter. That is the time bound. The second point is staff retention. Now, here is the turnover rates. Monitor the staff turnover rates before and after the implementation of the communication plan. A decrease in turnover rates may suggest that improved communication contributes to higher job satisfaction and employee retention. That is way too easy. When people, the workers, the employees are going to leave your organization, this means your people are pathetic. Exit the interview analysis. Analyze the feedback from exit interviews to identify any communication related issues leading to the employee departures using insights to make further improvements in communication strategies. Now, this is the example for it. Decrease the staff turnover rates by 15% over the next fiscal year, the new year. Track turnover rates and compare against the previous year. Establish realistic targets based on the historical turnover rates and industry benchmarks. That is what is happening in the industry and what is happening in the market and your organization. Improved communication can contribute to higher employee satisfaction and retention. Achieve the 15% decrease within the next fiscal year. One more thing. There is a very inverse relationship between specific and time bound. If we are going to decrease 15%, in the next year we are going to achieve that 15% as well. That is what the time bound time limit is. Increase motivation. In this, we have productivity metrics, employee surveys, recognition, and rewards program. The productivity metric says that we have to track the key productivity metrics such as output per employee or project completion times. Improved productivity may indicate that enhanced communication has positively influenced the employee motivation and engagement. In the survey, include the questions related to motivation and job satisfaction in regular employee surveys because we're directly talking to them. So the questions and the survey should be made and aligned with their goals. Positive responses may indicate that employees feel more motivated and engaged as a result of improved communication. For the rewards, what we can do is we can give them different benefits. We can give them extra commission, bonuses, insurance. This way, they will be motivated. For example, improve productivity metrics by 12% within the next quarter and track the key productivity metrics regularly. That is measurable. Achievable, set realistic target based on historical performance and team capabilities. Improved communication can enhance collaboration and motivation, leading to increased productivity. Achieve the 12% improvement within the next quarter. Overall organizational health. In this, we are going to discuss about the internal communication audits, leadership feedback, employee well-being metrics. For the internal communication audit, what is included in it is the conduct periodic internal communication audits to assess the effectiveness of the communication channels and strategies. Use the results to identify the areas of improvement and track changes over time. That is how we can improve the internal communication level by making and having an audit after every month or quarterly. Leadership feedback. Gather the feedback from the team leaders and managers on the impact of improved communication on the team dynamics and collaboration because they are leading. We should directly ask them as well. Positive feedback may indicate that communication strategies are positively influencing organizational culture as well because that is the most important aspect. Track employee well-being metrics such as stress levels or burnout rates. The turnover rate is also included in it and the KPI indicators as well. Decrease in negative well-being indicators may suggest that improved communication is contributing to a healthier work environment. Obviously, when they're happy, they're not going to leave your organization at all. You're paying them on time, you're giving them a good benefit, some extra fringes as well, then they're going to be loyal with your organization. They're going to not defame, not badmouth your organization with everyone. Conduct internal communication audits semi-annually to identify the at-risk gaps. Now we have to discuss each point related to that SMART part. Measurable, measurable, track the results of the internal communication audit. Achievable is allocate the resources for the regular communication audits. For the relevancy, we can say that internal communication audits directly assess the success of the communication strategies. And time-bound conduct audits semi-annually, that is after every 6 months. That is the best time. But for the organization which are having all the time problems, we can conduct 3 months or 4 months. Regularly viewing and reviewing and analyzing these measures will provide valuable insights into the success of the workplace communication improvement plan, allowing for the adjustments and refinements as needed. By aligning the measures with the SMART criteria, the organization can establish clear, achievable, and time bound goals, making it easier to assess the success of the workplace communication improvement plan. Regular monitoring and adjustment based on the SMART measures contribute to the ongoing effectiveness of the communication strategy. These are the examples according to the points which were mentioned on the indicative content. For example, improved performance and the measure is increase in sales figure. Company XYZ Electronics, what was the problem before quarterly sales averaged $5 million? What they did, implemented a recommendation plan emphasizing clearer product messaging and customizing the customer engagement. And the results were quarterly sales increased to $6.5 million, indicating a significant improvement in performance attributable attributable to enhanced communication. Okay, for the increased staff retention, the measure is decrease in staff turnover. Example is for the ABC Consulting. It can be any company. These are the assumed one. Annual turnover rate was 20%. After introduction of the communication plan focusing on addressing employee concerns and improving the leadership communication, what happened was the annual turnover decreased to 12%, demonstrating that the communication plan positively influences staff retention. So the points which we discussed They are actually in reality as well. We have to implement those points. They should be factual. Lastly, we have the example for third point, that is increased motivation. The measure over here is improvement in productivity metrics. Company XYZ, which is a manufacturing, before the productivity metrics indicated an output of 100 units per week. That is, this organization was making 100 units per week only. After implementation of the communication plan, emphasizing the team collaboration and providing clearer project guidelines, what happened was the results were the productivity metrics increased to 120 units per week, that is whole 20%, indicating the boost in motivation and efficiency. Definitely, they could have the people, they must have received good benefits, bonuses, commission. That is why they were able to work more. Because it is not necessary we have to work from 8 till 9, as in 8 till 5 or 9 till 6. We can definitely do less work, as in a less time, but it should be way too effective. It should be way too efficient, because only then it can help the organization to boost. That's it. This is the reference, and we are done with Alhamdulillah learning outcome number 4. Now only 3 classes are left for this course. We will be covering LO3, and it is related to, I think, activity number 3. And then, inshallah, it's going to be a combined task class in which I'll be delivering task number 2, that is activity 2, and 3 to you. That is, I'll be briefing that. That's it. And this course is going to be finished. And